In this recording, I want to go through how to use the um, calculators for dealing with fractions, and we're going to deal with first how to set up fractions, how to convert fractions to decimals and decimals to fractions, and we are going to also do improper to mixed number to improper. Then finally, we'll do percents to decimals to fractions, and then fractions to decimals to percent. So we're going to do all of this. So first, your calculator has a fraction button, which is right here. Okay? It has basically the box over another box. So if you click on it, it should look exactly like that. You have a box over a box. And you can type in any fraction you want. So you want to do 5, and you press down to go to the denominator, over 8. So we have 5/8. Press enter. But also, it'll reduce any fraction for us. So if I know we have, let's say, 15 over 21, and I press enter, both these are divisible by 3, so it should reduce it to 5/7. So it will reduce any fraction for us. So if it ever asks us to reduce a fraction, just type it in your calculator and press enter. It'll reduce it for us. Always reduce your fractions, by the way. Now, so that's the intro to fractions. Really, that's how we type in fractions. Now, if you want to type in a mixed number, right below this button, right between this button and the 7 button in blue, is the mixed number symbols. Now, anything in blue on your calculator, so here we have constants, convert, the square root symbol, we have letters here. Okay, anything in blue, we press second. Once second is highlighted, and you'll see second appear up in the corner, that means whatever I press next is going to be blue. Okay, so if instead of pressing, when I press 7, it's not going to put 7, it's going to put the 3 boxes. So this is now we can do a mixed number. So I want to do, let's say, any mixed number, 2 and 2/5. There's our mixed number, 2 and 2/5. Now you may notice once I press enter, it converted it to a improper fraction for me. So that's kind of what you're going to do for mixed numbers to improper fraction, is you're going to type in the mixed number and then press enter. It'll automatically convert it to an improper fraction. So we have talked about fractions. Sorry, here. We talked about fractions. Okay, now fractions to decimals. Let me clear all this. Clear and clear this. Fractions to decimals are real easy. Let's say I type in the fraction again, 2/5. Now most of you may know that this is 0.4, but if not, there's a way to convert this to a decimal. Once I type in the fraction, I'm going to type the number that's above the enter. I'm going to press the button that's above the enter button, which is this button right here, and you're going to see these 2 little arrows pop up. Okay. Now, by the way, anytime I want to change something to a decimal, that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use this. Right? So these 2 little arrows are going to pop up, and I'm just going to press enter. And it converts it to a decimal. So we could have a decimal like that. Let's say I have the fraction which is 5/9. And I'm going to press the double arrow. Make sure, by the way, that you're not in the fraction. I'll show you what I mean. Let me clear this, because a lot of people do this. 5 and 9, and a lot of people press the button here. And you see the difference between the location of the double arrow? Yeah, that's not where I want it to be. I don't want it there. I want it to be out from underneath the fraction. I don't want it on top of the fraction. I want it beside the fraction. So press over and then press the double arrow. You want it here. Now if you press enter, you're going to see long series and 6. That's because there's a limit to how many numbers this is. Anything over 9 is that number repeating. So 5 over 9 is 5 repeating, or 0.5 repeating. 2 over 9 is 0.2 repeating. 7 over 9 is 0.7 repeating. And that's how we convert a fraction to a decimal. We type in the fraction, press the double arrow button right above the enter, and we're good to go. Let's fraction the decimals. All right, now let's do it backwards. Clear all this. Decimals to fractions. So let's say I do 0.125, and some of you may know that this is 1/8, but if not, that's fine. You don't have to. If you're asked to convert, and you're going to be, a decimal to a fraction, type in the decimal and do the same thing we did before. Press the double arrow button, and what it's going to do is this will do backwards and forwards. It'll convert any decimal to a fraction and any fraction to a decimal. So there it is. So let's do another one. Let's say we had 0.1025. Too many zeros. All right. So press the little double. I don't know what the answer is to this. Okay, so we're going to find out. Press enter. So that's 41 over 400. That's how we convert any decimal. You type in the decimal, press again the double arrow. It's above the enter button, and then press enter. It'll convert it to a fraction. Again, this will convert decimals to fractions and fractions to decimals. All right. Now I've kind of already done mixed number to improper. Let me go ahead and do that again, mixed number to improper. So if you remember, mixed number is something like 3 and 1/4. Okay, so we are going to convert that to an improper fraction, which is just one number over another, and it's improper because the numerator is going to be larger than the denominator. So first I'm going to press the buttons to get the improper fraction, which is 2 and 7. That's going to pop up the mixed number. Sorry, the mixed number settings. So we type in 3, we press over, we type in the numerator 1, press down, we type in press down, there we go. We type in the denominator 4, and then we could stop here. We don't have to do anything else. We can just press enter, and it converts it to 13 over 4. So that's how we convert any mixed number to improper, because that's honestly really easy to do. You just type it in and press enter. It automatically converts it to improper. But how do we convert any improper to mixed numbers? Okay, so let's do that. Let's do this backwards. We already know what the answer is, so I'm going to type in the fraction 13 over 4. Okay, now I'm going to press over. I don't want to be in the fraction anymore. Now here's the trick to this. There is a section I have to go to, and what I'm going to do is if I want to convert, where's my button? 13 over 4, my next thing I'm going to press is the math button. Okay, I'm going to press the math button. It's actually right here. The 13 over 4, and there's the math button. Okay, so math. And it's going to be right here. It's the very first one. So just press enter, or you can just press 1. So I'm going to press 1, so you know that's what I'm pressing, 1. And you're going to see this pop up, which is N over D, double arrow, that double arrow setting, which basically means just convert U N over D. So this means improper to mixed number. Okay, so press enter, and now we have it as a mixed number. So we type in the improper fraction, press math and then 1, and then press enter. So that's how we convert improper fractions to mixed numbers. Okay. Clear this. Clear this. All right. Now, percents to decimals to fractions. Now, the percent button is right here. So you will have to type in, say you want to do 86% as a fraction. So we want to do 86%, and I want to convert this to a fraction. All right. Now, unfortunately, there's no way to convert this to a fraction straight away. Okay, not on this calculator. We've had other calculators that did that, but this one does not. So what I'm going to do is first convert this to a decimal. So decimal first. It's not going to go to fraction right away. We're going to first convert this to a decimal. And to be honest, you just type in the fraction, the percent. So if you press second and then percent, which is right above the division button. So again, the percent button is right above the division button. So second divide gives you that percent symbol. And you press enter. Right. It'll change it to a decimal automatically. So type in the number and then press enter. Changes it to 0.1816. All right. Now, here's the real nifty thing. I don't have to do anything else but press this one button right here. Once I have once I press enter, okay, and then I press the little double arrow. By the way, this wavy equal sign, it means approximately. It's an estimation. Okay, basically this means we're estimating or we're rounding or giving an approximation. That's what it means. But if I press it, it's going to automatically convert it to a fraction. If I press it again, converts it to a decimal. Press it again, back to a fraction. So if you don't have anything typed in, it's going to take your last answer and then convert it to whatever we want it to convert to. Okay. So that gives us 43/50 as a fraction. Okay, so I'll do another one, just make sure we're clear on this. So we first type in the percent. So let's say I want to do 75%. So that's going to give me, oh, let's do one even trickier, because I know you're going to get a question like this. Let's do 0.75%. So let's do that. So 0.75 and then percent. And I want to convert this to a fraction. I'm going to press enter. Press enter. Which is going to change it to 0.0075. And then you press the double arrow wavy equal sign, or approximation button. And it automatically converts it to 3/400, which is the fraction. So that's how we do percents to decimals, to fractions. Percents to decimals to fractions. Okay. Now we're going to do it backwards. I want a fraction to decimal to percent. And again, the reason why I have to do this, there's no direct fraction to percent, not one. So what I'm going to do is first convert a fraction to a decimal, which we've already done this before. So let me clear this. All right. So let's do a fraction. Let's say it is 21/80. Okay. So 21/80. Again, this is random fraction. Okay. We're going to first convert this to a decimal. Decimal. Why are you freezing up? Okay. Oh, that's an awful button, but still, you know, okay, I can't stand that. I'm gonna press the. My OCD's kicking in, so sorry. Alright, so press this, it's going to convert it to a decimal. I don't know what that is, so let's press it and press enter. Alright, so we press it and press enter. Again, it's all popping up over here. Okay. I'm deciding to write it very poorly though. Now, if we ever want to convert any decimal to a percent, so decimals to percent, we multiply by 100. So it means just take whatever you want and times by 100. So I'm just going to do times 100. So we get 26.25%. Now round to whatever you want to round to, but this is the 100th percent. Which means it's a percent to the 100th place. So this is the 100th percent. I think that covers everything on the fraction decimals to percents. Okay. So, okay, send me a message. So close this, close this, close this. All right. So I think that covers everything on here. Oh, let me clear this. Let me show you something else that may come up. So let me clear all of this. And let me just close. Save, I don't need it. Make this bigger. So let's talk about well, two things. If you see bracket, and I can't draw on here. If you see brackets anywhere, and I'm going to make this a little smaller so we can do this. If you ever see brackets, and I'm saying this because you're going to see something like two times bracket 10 minus 6 divided by 2 parentheses bracket minus 4. You're going to see something like this. You can put this entire thing in your calculator. Just instead of using brackets, you're going to write this as 2 times parentheses. Because brackets are the same thing as parentheses. The only reason we use them is to differentiate between what opens and closes. Okay, so these two open and close each other, and these two open and close each other. So that's the only reason we have them. So I can type that all the way in here. 2 times parentheses 10 minus parentheses 6 divided by 2, close 2 parentheses, minus 4. Press enter. Your calculator can do order of operations for you. Well, there it is. The answer is 10. Now, if I did it separately, I had to do the inside out. So the inside most part first. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. I have 2 times this 3 minus 4. 10 minus 3 is 7. So 2 times 7 minus 4, multiplication first, 14 minus 4 is 10. So, there we go. So you can use brackets as parentheses, you can just type it all in, you don't have to stress brackets at all. Okay. Another thing I wanted to show you was scientific notation, because it's going to come up in 11.2b. You get a lot of things about scientific notation. You can actually set your calculator into scientific notation mode. and that's right here. If you do that, you'll see SEI show up. So, I mean, I just want to show you what you can do with this. Let's 11.2b is due, scientific notation. So if you're asked to put something in scientific notation, or put this in decimal form, then what I'm going to do is I can type this in my calculator. Really, I can just type this in my calculator. You don't want it in sign. If they don't want it in scientific notation, leave it. You want to go back to mode and change it to normal. All right. And to get out, you can just press clear to get out. So if you want decimal form, you just type in your calculator 4.324 times 10. Now you may notice that it has an exponent. Exponents are right here, x with a box. And you see it shows up as an exponent, 5. So press enter, and there it is in decimal form. Okay. Now, if you ever want to, so that was 43240, I think. 2 zeros, yeah. All right, now decimal form again, same thing, so I'm going to skip that one. Now, to put this inside notation, what I'm going to do is go back to mode, change it to scientific notation. Oh, I didn't see SEI show up, so something happened. Mode, scientific, press enter to make sure it's highlighted, and I can clear, get out of there. So I'm just going to type it in, and it'll automatically put it in scientific notation. So 1440000. That's the whole number. And I'm going to press enter. And it's going to put it in scientific notation. It just doesn't put it in the form that we're used to. So what it's going to do is it's going to put it in, this. Not the form we're used to. Okay. But it's enough we need. This right here is one. Can't write on here, so apparently won't let me write on here. But it gives me everything at 1.44, 1.44, and whatever comes after e just means exponent of 7. Okay, we're good to go. So yeah, it'll put in scientific notation for you. Same thing, it'll put in scientific notation, just it'll be negative, that's all. Yep. You can just put this in your calculator, and again, it'll put in scientific notation as long as you have it set up to put every answer in scientific notation. So you just type that in. Same thing with here, you can just type that in, and it'll put in scientific notation for you. Same thing here, you can type that in, and it'll put it in scientific notation for you. Now this is the only one that may be an issue. Okay. An atom of gold has a mass of approximately 3.25 times 10 negative 22 grams. What's the mass of 1,000 atoms of gold? Basically, you would type this in your calculator and then multiply it by 1,000. Okay. So, no, yeah, you should be fine with this to be in scientific notation. So let's do this one. This is a bit tricky. So we type this in scientific notation. We can do 3.25 times 10, press the X with the box button, negative 22, make sure you use the negative button, not the minus button, the negative button. Press over to get out of the exponent, and we're multiplying it by 1,000, so times 1,000. All right, we press enter. Yep, there's the scientific notation. 3.25 times 10 to the negative 19. There we go. So that right there should cover anything you need for the scientific notation section of your homework. All right, hope that helps. I don't think there should be anything else for the second week other than just how to use your calculator. If you have any questions, keep in mind, I'm probably going to be at the hospital with my wife. We are expecting next week, this Sunday. So say this Sunday, that would be the Sunday on the 12th. We're expecting on the 12th, so we're actually expecting after class starts, so before the 14th. So yeah, you can try to get a hold of me, but I may be busy. Okay, feel free to try though. All right, but hopefully make sure you watch the videos, do the learn, do the practice if you need to. But hopefully this video is going to help when it comes to doing anything from chapter 2 and then chapter 11 point B. And anytime you have fractions and decimals and percents you got questions on, just watch this video. It should answer anything you need. All right. Have a good night.